Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
For working with United Way to empower your employees to support our United Way agencies. We recognize that 2020 has brought many challenges to our local businesses, but you have not let that keep you from serving others. Our United Way campaign, like others across the nation, is working very hard to keep up with the needs of our community. Our 9 local agencies serve 1 out of 3 people in our community, and your support makes that possible. We're very excited about our new campaign for 2021, and I would like to introduce our 2020 campaign chair, Susan Fanger, principal of Youth Elementary School, to tell you about her plans for this year. Susan has been a leader in the school district's campaign for many years, and her commitment, creativity, and energy will certainly make this year's campaign a success. Please help me welcome Susan.
To get to represent the United Way and to be part of this campaign. I'm going to start the presentation today with a quick video, a quick YouTube clip that explains why this was an easy yes for me when me and Garrett called and said, Susan, would you be willing to chair the campaign? And I said, absolutely. So I'm going to show you a quick clip about one of the reasons why this was so easy.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I'm in comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm gonna show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, I'm a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow, that bro can sing. You know what I'm saying? Now, we should give you a version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick. If you know the version I'm talking about, just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like
catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
Most people know what I do. I'm a teacher. If you are in your 20s, I'm an 8th grade math teacher. If you are a 1st grader through 5th grader right now, I'm an elementary school principal. And that's what I do. But that's not my why. My why is because I would like to make the world a better place. I'd like to make a difference. My why is because I would like to empower families to live meaningful lives. I'd like to help children discover their strengths, and I would like to give people in my community hope for a future. That's my why. So when I go to school every day, some days I teach, some days I lead, some days I discipline students, and sometimes I spend my day with hurting families. But this month, I'm going to ask my staff to support the United Way because all of those things are why I do what I do. I think that every one of us wants to do something that lives beyond ourselves. That we want to work and make a difference in life, not just go to a job. I want that for myself and my family. I want it for my friends, and I want it for the staff that works with me every day. As leaders, as business owners, we have an opportunity to connect people with these wonderful organizations that the United Way funds. These connections, that's what allows me to live a life that creates a legacy and lives beyond myself. To give other people an opportunity to live a life that's better, to make a difference in the world. But that takes all of us working together. Truett Cathy is one of my favorite leaders to read about and to try to learn from. And one of his quotes where he says, we should all be part of the communities in which we serve. The Walton County United Way currently serves 9 organizations that make a difference in Walton County every day. The United Way raises approximately $250,000 every year to support these local organizations, to provide hope and resources to people who are hurting and in need in our community in Walton County. It is a huge opportunity for us to be able to come together collectively to support these local agencies here through our United Way. Through the United Way, we can make this community healthier and we can help people live their best lives. I want to give you just a couple of examples. This was very easy for me when Ben said, Susan, will you do this? It's part of my why because these agencies help families that I work with every day. And the joy of being in the school system is to watch these agencies come in and give people hope. I've had a staff member who couldn't pay her light bill and fell on hard times, who came to me and said, Susan, I don't know what to do. It's not just my light bill. They're going to kick me out of my house. I was picking her up for work. She was losing her car. And I got in touch with some of these different agencies, and I am proud to say that she is back on her feet. She is in her house. She has light. She is caring for her daughter. And that is because of the agencies that are in here this morning. I'll give you one more story, one that stood out to my heart. We had a 3rd grade student last year at my school who went in a hospital on Friday. Her mom called me on Monday and said, Susan, I don't have any family here. Will you come sit with me at the hospital? They say my daughter's not going to make it. So I loaded up her teachers and we drove over to the hospital because our job is to be there for hurting families. She didn't have anybody else to be. Her daughter ended up passing away. And a few days later, she showed back up at the school and said, Susan, I don't know where to go. I don't have anybody and I don't have anywhere to go, but they're going to take my daughter's body and I can't pay for a funeral. I can't bury her, Susan. What do I do? And I said, we'll bury your daughter. I want you to go make plans. You find a beautiful dress. I'll make sure we pay for the funeral. You just tell me where you want it to be. I got on the phone with Cindy Little. I know she's in here somewhere. I saw her earlier. And Cindy said, Susan, we don't really provide money for funerals, but I tell you what, you get on the phone and I'll get on the phone. And between all the agencies that are in the room, I am very happy to say she had a beautiful service provided for the agencies in Walton County for this family who had nobody. And that shouldn't be something that you're trying to decide when you're burying your only child. But these agencies came together. She had a phenomenal service. It was beautiful. And she has had family move down to be to Walton County with her from Tennessee. They have recently enrolled in school with us, and so we've been able to connect them with some friends. But that's how you make people's lives better. I couldn't change the situation, but we were able to rally around her as a community, not Youth Elementary School, as a community of agencies, and provide support for this family. The vision to make a difference in Walton County needs all of us, and we need you. And we need you to be for Walton. That's going to be our theme this year, that we need you to be for Walton. And we put together a video with our agencies that we will be happy to share with you and your businesses that you can show to your staff. But I'd like for you to take just a few moments and watch our For Walton United Way video.
With the Walton County Senior Citizens Council, and we have partnered with United Way for many years now. And through that partnership, we have served hundreds of seniors throughout Walton County by providing them with hot meals as well as a daily visit, which is often as important as the meal itself.
My name is Megan Herndon. I'm the Executive Director of Shepherd Staff Ministries in Loganville, Georgia. And United Way and Shepherd Staff have been partnered for the last 15 years. And during that time, their partnership has meant so much to us. In terms of financial support for our clients, we've been able to provide food, clothing, shelter, and utility assistance to those people in Walton County who need it most.
Hi, I'm Ashley Dyson. I'm with Project Renewal. I've worked with United Way. We're great partners, and we help provide safe and secure housing and provide resources for families to live in violence-free homes.
Hi, my name is Cindy Little. I'm the Executive Director of Fish Ministries of Walton County. Fish is a big part of the emergency assistance for the local community. We help with folks with their rent, their utilities, food. We help with prescriptions. We have a free medical clinic, free dental clinic. We also have our Fish for Kids program. That program was very instrumental in saving these kids during COVID. On the Thursday that the schools stopped feeding and the kids had to stay home, that Monday we were feeding and delivering door to door.
I'm Keith, Direct Support Professional 3 with Unlimited Services. We have been in support of adults with developmental disabilities to discover and choose the life that they want to live.
My name is Mr. Lynn E. Hill, and I am the Club Director of the Boys and Girls Club of Central Georgia and the Walton County Union. I'm happy to be here today to share with you on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club of Walton County just a case. What I have is called a case for the Walton County Boys and Girls Club, and it encapsulates how the United Way contributes and supports us in how we are able to influence our community, our youth, and our kids.
My name is Trent Selman, and I'm the Scout Executive for the Northeast Georgia Council of Boy Scouts of America. We're a proud partner with the United Way in Walton County because of all the good that it enables us to do. Scouting is able to serve over 1,000 youth in Walton County with programs that teach citizenship, character development, and personal fitness. For many of those young people, the only adult mentor they will have is that provided by Scouting. Scouting makes lifelong impacts on young people, as studies have shown, and we're proud that the United Way has enabled us to extend our outreach efforts here in the Walton County area.
I'm Nancy Burgess, and I'm the Executive Director of the Child's Voice Child Advocacy Center. We serve Benedict and Walton counties with our Cody Judicial Circuit. We are a nonprofit, and we are extremely proud to become a member of the Walton United Way. We appreciate all the support that they've given us over the years. They've helped us help the children in our community who are suffering from sexual, physical, or witness to a violent crime. Their financial services to us provide the ability to hire expert staff that can work with the children and make sure that they have the services that they need.
We would encourage you to take part in United Way, and let's make a difference for seniors, and let's make a difference for Walton. For Walton. We are for Walton.
We are for Walton. For Walton.
For Walton.
For Walton.
For Walton.
They are for me.
I do want to say a special thank you, he's not here today, to Cody Stubbs, who helped us with that video and putting all of that together. He did a fantastic job. We hope that you will be part of supporting our local United Way. We hope that you will all decide to be for Walton. We will share any of the resources that we have to share with your staffs. If you are willing to join us in our efforts to ensure that these local agencies have the resources that they need, we'll provide you any material, and we'll be glad to help you in any way we can. At this time, will our pace setters please stand? I want you to give a special round of applause to these pace setters who have already contributed a total and agreed to raise a total of $230,000, which is 82% of our goal. After the meeting today, if you'll please come forward to receive your pace setter plaques and campaign kits. Also, we would like for all of the representatives, all of our movie stars that you just saw in the video, to please stand for us. Come on, movie stars. We want to say a special thank you to each of you for making a difference in our community, for helping people to live better lives, and providing hope to our community. Thank you for being for Walton. We hope that each of you will do the same. Thank you for your time this morning, and I'll turn it back over to Tammy for some closing remarks.
Thanks, Susan. Just knocked it out of the park. That was awesome. I still have chill bumps from the videos and the singing and the stories. Thank you, Susan, for leading our campaign this year. We had some great commitments today, and I want to thank you all for being with us to celebrate the kickoff of our 2020 campaign. The community is counting on us more than ever, and we are counting on you. We are for Walton. I want to remind everyone who made a pace setter commitment today to come up front for a photo and to receive your plaques and campaign kits.
Creative artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artist today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist, they'll put you in the spotlight.
If you would, we're going to go ahead and get started with the program. We do have some chairs up here in front if you'd like to come get seated. We have some nice cushions for you to sit on as well that you can take with you when you leave. I first want to thank everyone, of course, for being here. If you don't know me already, I'm Ashley. I spoke with a lot of you over the phone inviting you to the event, so I really do appreciate you being here. And of course, we do have refreshments. So if you haven't already, we have some Chick-fil-A minis, some coffee, orange juice. We do have some water. It's in a foam cooler to the right, so it stays cold for you guys. We do have some cupcakes, and we also have some goodie bags for our guests. For those of you that are guests and don't know Future Services, we are a pest, termite, and lawn care company. We've been in business 22 years now. It's family owned and operated. I'm sure a lot of you already know Daryl Lee. He's the CEO and president, and his wife Tanya is the vice president, and Colton is the sales and marketing director. They're all a part of the Lee family, and we've expanded now. We used to be in Atlanta primarily, and now we've expanded into Lexington, South Carolina, as well as the northern part of Florida. We hope in years to come that we'll continue expanding in Florida as well. We provide bed bug services as well, and we're getting into disinfecting. So that's a little bit about the company. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Roby to introduce our next speaker.
Good morning, everybody. Barely see people back there. My name is Roby Arecibo. I am with Future Services. Been here for a little bit. Just recently came back to Future last year. I can't believe next month it'll actually be 1 year that I've been back. And I'm so glad I did. I met Mr. Martinez. Where you at? I know you're out here somewhere, so go ahead and make your way up front. I met Mr. Martinez years ago when he had his restaurant off where Oh Shucks is right now. Because I'm Cuban also. It really appealed to me. As soon as I saw Cuban food, I was like, I'm going there. I'm going to go try it. I'm very critical when it comes to Cuban food, and he had it on point. And he's a United States veteran also, so I thank him for his service. And now he's the mayor of Loganville, and I'm so happy for him to have that. And I want him to come up and have a few words for us today. Come on, Mr. Martinez.
What a beautiful crowd. I love it. Beautiful day, beautiful crowd. Thank you, Roby, for that great introduction. Nothing makes me more happier than a small business starting in my town. Nothing. So congratulations. We look forward to a great partnership. And of course, I see Carrie Rowe here with the Walton County Chamber. I got a little speech because I'm all about speeches, right? Again, I want to thank you for inviting me here today. And let me welcome you guys, everybody here. And there's my paper. How about that? Doesn't look good, does it? That's all right. Things sometimes don't go as planned. But that's the way it goes, right? I love it. So let's put this right here. Put it right here. We'll start. You want me to start again? Whoa, look. I love it. Things don't go as planned. I'll tell you what, let's go, Robbie. We may just blow away. How about we just blow away? You notice I'm the mayor, but I like to have fun. I really do. It's all about having fun, right? In today's political climate. If you're not having fun, boy, you're not having fun. So we're all about having fun. All right. And again, let me welcome everybody here to our greater Loganville community. The great thing about coming to a great ribbon cutting like today is that we're here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate a new challenge. Someone aiming to take the next steps towards success, my friend. Today we're here to welcome Future Services, who made the decision, and I don't say this lightly because I take every business, let me tell you, I take every business very seriously. And one of the things that we did during this COVID thing is, they, I remember a few months ago, back in March, when the COVID hit, and I had to make the tough decision. It is, as a small business owner, I had to make the tough decision to pass some emergency orders. I don't have to go into it. You guys know what these emergency orders is, and some of them is essential, not essential businesses, and so on and so forth. So it's tough. It's tough going to a business and telling them, sorry, you got 48 hours, you got 24 hours to basically shut down. So it's tough. But you know what? What made my day was about a couple months later when our Governor Kemp said, you know, I'm gonna open this thing up. I'm gonna open up our state, and I'm gonna leave it to the cities. I was on the front lines. Most of you know I was on the front lines. I actually went to a couple beauty parlors and nail salons and said, are you ready? Are you ready to open? Let's go. Let's get your services going. So I'm excited. I'm all about businesses doing their thing to thrive. So it just tickles me for the businesses to come out and open up in our great city. And you've made the decision to move into our community, to be part of our community, and hopefully willing to make a difference in our community. Myself as mayor of the Loganville City and the Loganville City Council know the importance and the impact businesses in and around our community can have. So please know that we welcome you and we invite you to make a difference in Walton County and our greater Loganville area. We hope that you stay active in the chamber, in our city, and stay involved, and that you have many years, and I mean many years, and if I could do anything, what little part I could do to be your partner, to be all of your partner, to have a huge success future, I will be there for you. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you on a beautiful day, and I wish you much success. Thanks, Robbie.
All right, thank you very much. I came to this country in 1989. I was a orphan, kind of, if you could say it that way. I came from Venezuela. I'm actually originally Cuban, but that's how I got out of the country. It wasn't easy. I moved to Georgia in 1997. I made my way to Future Services in 2004. I wasn't in a very good place, to say the least. I was not hireable. Actually, Daryl called my pastor, and he said, "Hey, I got this man. He goes to your church. What do you think?" And my pastor looked at him and he said, "Please give him a shot." He gave me a shot. I came in, I worked my rear end off, and here it is, 2020, and I'm still with the Lee family. They've become my family to me. They've helped me out so much in so many ways. I would not imagine that I would be standing here in front of you guys introducing Daryl Lee. I'm his assistant. I'm kind of a glorified gopher at times, but I want to thank him for the opportunity that he's given me, his family. I love them so much. Everybody, all the managers, general managers, from our branches, our service managers that came, everyone that came out this morning, some of my friends that I know from business around here in Loganville. And without further ado, I want to introduce you to Daryl Lee. He started the company back in 1998. Maybe he'll tell you a little bit about it, maybe he won't, but he'll if you get him off to the side, he'll tell you how he started. It's pretty much him in a truck and just, running scared. I remember that feeling when I started my business years ago. So without further ado, Daryl Lee.
Thank you, Roby. Well, I was hoping Roby would tell you the story, so I'll tell it. So we hired Roby. I wasn't going to tell this until he started off on this. I'm going to hold one hand here. He came in and was doing lawn care, and he was not here very long. I don't know, a couple of months. And he was playing football and broke his leg and was promoted to helping me in the office And one thing led to another, and he became my assistant. And since then, for some reason, everybody keeps getting hurt. But thank you, and I have the privilege for following the mayor. He's such an eloquent speaker. I'm not so much. But good morning, everyone. I do want to welcome you to our groundbreaking ceremony here. And in starting, I'll reiterate what King Henry said to his many, many wives: I shall not keep you long. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Darrell Lee. I am the CEO, President of Future Services. I come from very humble beginnings. I grew up in a very poor home. I was the youngest of 6 kids who grew up in a, we call it the country ghetto. I grew up in a 400 square foot, 2-bedroom sharecropper shack. The first 10 years of my life, I took baths in the creek. When we weren't taking a bath in the creek, we were taking baths in the creek water that we brought home from the creek. I started working in soybean fields and wheat fields when I was 11 years old. We were so poor, the kids had to help supply food for our family. So really, to be here today, to be standing here today, it's very overwhelming. Very proud to be here, and very humbled. So thank you for coming today. A lot of people called to say they were out of town for the holiday, but thank you for coming. Thank you. That will help. So thank you for being here. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today. I also want to thank Detective Studdard for being here today. Thank you for your service. I do want to recognize a few people who have been very important. I first want to really recognize the most important person, and that is God. God has been very important to our family. In our lives, His presence in our family, in our business. I could tell you story after story of God's blessings on our family, not only in our family, but also on our employees' lives as well. You know, to have millions of miles on the road. We have probably almost 100 vehicles on the road for 22 years. We probably have millions of miles. We've never had a fatality or anything like that. I thank God for that. So I'd like to start by thanking, I don't know, is Donnie here? Donnie sold us this property. It's a beautiful property right here on the main highway here. It was going to be a property for a bank, I believe, at one time, and then a retail store, and then the crash hit, and then Donnie brought it back, and he had several offers, but I talked to Donnie and he sold it to us, so I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for the person who made my vision a reality. George, see George in the back with the mask on? So I had this idea on paper. I took a little drafting in school, so I drafted something out. But when I gave it to George, and a week or so later, he sent back this 3D rendering, I was just blown away. I had no idea. So really, I had the vision, but really George was the grand vision behind this project. So thank you so much, George. Next, I'd like to thank Amy Bahan. Where are you, Amy? Amy, with First Citizen Bank. They have been so helpful. Amy has been so nice in helping us. And without First Citizen, this project would not be possible. I'd also like to thank Scott Phillips with Premier Construction. He's not here today. But Alan, Trish, and Russ, where are you? Thank you so much for being here today. We look forward with partnering with you to build this project. Thank you so much for what you've done so far. And listen, this has never been about me. It's been about the great people here at Future Services. So I'd like to thank our directors who are here today. I'll recognize some of them later. But Teresa, thank you for being here. Also our management team. Management team, can you stand up, our managers and service managers. Thank you so much for being here. Some of them are not here today, so thank you. And then I would like to say a really, really, really big thank you. All I did was show up today. I didn't do anything here. I was actually out of country, me and my wife. And man, when I got here today, I was just blown away. So I want us to give a big thank you to Roby and Ashley for doing this, everything. Well, there goes my speech. Should have taken that rock off. And I wouldn't be complete if I didn't mention my children. They're not children anymore. They are adults. Jonathan, Colton, and Caleb. Will y'all stand? They're probably already standing. They now work in our business in various duties. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife, Tanya. I would ask her to come up here, but she would kill me. 22 years ago, I've always worked very fast, but 22 years ago, with law-breaking speed and reckless abandon, we began building and growing our company. And it was always my wife who would, have a way of slowing me down, saying, now, something like, we don't have much money in the bank. And that seems to always work. But always helping me negotiate the next curve or bump in the road that would come. And over the years together, we would battle relentless storms over and over. Thank you, babe. I love you. The project we're here today celebrating is more than a brick and mortar story. It's a story about people. Like Noah building an ark, I'm sure there were people that came along and pitched a hand here and there, helping nail a nail, maybe helping lift a beam, but after a while they wandered on. We've seen people come and go. Some stayed for years, some for weeks, but they all helped in some way. I'll always be grateful for those that our paths crossed. 22 years ago, we started this journey. One man, one truck, and one customer. Today, Future Services serves nearly 25,000 homes and businesses throughout the southeastern U.S., Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. Last year, we were nationally recognized as the 85th largest pest management company in the United States by Pest Control, by PCT Magazine, out of 19,000 companies. That's a number that I marvel at every day. Many people don't fully realize exactly what our industry does. Did you know 20% of the world's food supply is consumed by rodents? They also transmit diseases to humans. Each year, over 500,000 people are admitted to the emergency room from insect bites. Mosquitoes are the deadliest animals in the world, killing 3 million people every year, infecting another 200 million. Termites cost you as homeowners over $5 billion in property damages each year. Our industry and our company protects public health, property, and our nation's food supplies. And it's a job we all take very seriously. Walton County and Loganville is a great county and a great city where my wife and I have lived for the last 14 years, raising our children, and it will be a great place, I know, to work. In the next 2 weeks, hopefully construction will begin, and God willing, we hope to close maybe by the end of the year, January, depending on how quick we can get the red tape done. This location will facilitate our corporate operations for our entire company, our support team, and our executive team. Our business promises to be a good and responsible partner in the community, providing jobs with good wages to our local residents and supporting local causes as well. Today marks an important milestone, something I've always dreamed of. It's a milestone that likely will see the sunset on my life. It's likely here in this building that me and my wife will retire, and pass the baton on to our children. This is why today is so important to me. So with that, let construction begin. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us here today. God bless.
All right. Thank you everybody for being out today. This is going to conclude our main program. If you have to leave, please, you can be excused. We would like to take some pictures and photos with the mayor and some of the other people. So if you want to stick around for that, please stick around for that. I know the chamber, Carrie, with the chamber, we're going to do a little bit of a video too for them. And with that being said, thank you very much so much for being out here. Please, there's plenty of food back there. Get you a cupcake. Please, I don't want to take that back to the office because I'll eat it. And thank you so much for everything.
This book is The Man in the Moon by William Joyce. And he drew these beautiful pictures too. Let's read. The Man in the Moon. And this one was edited by Laura Geringer Books. Of course you know the guardians of childhood. You've known them since before you can remember, and you'll know them till your memories are like twilight. Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Sandman, the Easter Bunny, and others. But the very first one was the Man in the Moon. Many once upon a time ago, the Man in the Moon began his journey. It was during the Golden Age, a glorious time of hope and happiness and dreams that could come true. As a baby, the Man in the Moon had everything a child could need. His father showed him the wonders of the heavens through his telescope, while the Moonbot crew whistled a jolly toot-toot to every passing ship. By the light of the giant glowworms, his mother read to him from her primer of planets, as the moon mice hushed one another so they could listen too. And he had a devoted little friend named Nightlight to watch over him. Together they all sailed from one peaceful planet to another in their beautiful ship, the Moon Clipper. At night, the Moon Clipper was designed to turn into a moon, so Nightlight called the baby the Little Man in the Moon, or MIM for short. Nightlight never slept, and every night he sprinkled dream sand over Mim and sang him a lullaby. Nightlight, bright light, sweet dreams I bestow. Sleep tight all night, forever I will glow. And as long as Nightlight watched over him, Mim was safe from nightmares. But darkness came to the Golden Age. It came in the shifting shape of Pitch, the king of nightmares. He had heard of the boy who had never had a nightmare, and this he could not abide. So he vowed to make that boy his own, a prince of nightmares. In search of Mim, Pitch sailed in his nightmare galleon on waves of fear, plundering planets, extinguishing stars, and scuttling every airship that crossed his path. Mim's parents knew of the perfect place to hide, an uncharted little green and blue planet in the distant galaxy. It was called Earth, and it had no moon. The moon clipper glided in deepest silence, speeding away from pitch's darkness. Suddenly, out of the gloom, the nightmare galleon appeared, so close Mim could see Pitch standing on the bow. "Toot, toot," asked the baby. "Where is that oh so innocent child who has never had a nightmare?" Pitch demanded, glaring straight at Mim. Then he signaled the attack. Mim's parents commanded Nightlight to take the baby to a hidden nursery deep in the darkest tunnels of the ship. "But first you must kneel and take this oath," they said. Their voices rang out through the smoldering smoke and flame. "Watch over our child. Guide him safely from the ways of harm. Keep happy his heart, brave his soul, and rosy his cheeks. Guard with your life his hopes and dreams, for he is all that we have, all that we are, and all that we will ever be." The battle rocked the moon clipper as Nightlight rushed Mim to safety, seeing a tear on the frightened child's cheek. He took it and held it close to his heart. Fiercely, he repeated his oath. Then he felt a searing pain. When he opened his hand, the tear had changed into a brilliant diamond, sharp as a dagger. "Remember me in dreams," he whispered to Mim as he flickered away to face Pitch. The galaxies had never known such a battle. Mim's parents and their crew fought valiantly, but they were overwhelmed at last. Mim's parents were captured, and all seemed lost. Nightlight knew what he must do. Whatever the cost, Mim must not become a prince of nightmares. With the diamond dagger held aloft, Nightlight flew bravely forward. He aimed the weapon at Pitch's heart. There was a blinding flash, then a great explosion. When all was still, Mim crawled up to the surface. "Toot, toot," he whispered. His parents didn't answer. He looked around him. Pitch and his galleon had vanished. The beautiful hull of the moon clipper had been blasted away. It was now just a moon and would never sail again. "Toot," he called once more and listened. Again no answer came. Finally he looked up at the sky. He saw a group of new stars shimmering above him. He stared at them until he was sure. His mother and father were there, far away, but still there. But what of the noble little Nightlight? The baby glimpsed a shooting star as bright as dream sand, and it fell to earth. Slowly the remaining moonbots, moon mice, and giant glowworms surrounded Mim. The only words he knew were "toot toot," so he said them over and over again. Gently they lifted Mim up and carried him into the tunnels of the moon. The baby looked up at the sky and waved, gazing longingly at his parents' constellation. Now he truly was Mem, the littlest man in the moon. Mem's new life had many comforts. Every night, one of the lunar moths would circle the moon with Mem on its soft, woolly back. He'd stay awake long enough to see his parents' constellation. Then he'd sleep and dream of Nightland and their gentle golden age. As time passed, the moon became a planet-sized playground for the boy. There was so little gravity that with one hop he could bounce over the tallest mountain. After a long day of adventuring, dinners were always a treat. Lunar ice cream, comet surprise, space juice nectarine, and each meal was lit by schools of starfish that swam through the evening sky. As young Mem wandered through the moon's tunnels, he discovered the primer his mother used to read to him. In the book was something he had completely forgotten: the little green and blue planet. He ran to his father's telescope. As he peered into it, he remembered the long ago shooting star that had fallen to Earth. But it was not nightlight he found. "There are children on Earth, children like me," he cried. Years went by, and the man in the moon was no longer a little boy. His new friends on Earth were very far away, but their lost balloons often floated up to the moon. Mem found that if he held them to his ear, he could hear the hopes and dreams of the children who had lost them. He listened carefully. Soon he had a whole collection of lost balloons. Mem learned that sometimes the children just needed a toy or a candy or a prize or a sweet dream or a good story to cheer them up. So Mem gazed down upon the earth, scanning mountain tops so remote they were hidden in clouds. There he found a grand toy maker to make the children toys, a regal rabbit to make them candy eggs, and a fairy from the kingdom of Punjab Hailu to leave prizes under their pillows. He even found a sleepy little fellow on a faraway sandy island who seemed to know all there was to know about dreams. And lastly, Mem brought the children of Earth a lovely lady who would tell them stories. But for all the joy Mem brought to Earth, there was one thing he had not been able to change. The children were still afraid of the dark. Although Pitch and his nightmare men were nowhere to be seen, Mem knew that the children still had nightmares. After all, at this time, he had never had one himself. Mem thought he would know everything when he grew up, but of course he did not. "This growing up is a tricky business," he said to himself. Every day he listened to the lost balloons and watched the children through his telescope and wondered how he could help them. "If only I could find them a friend like Nightlight," he thought. And so, deep in thought and remembering his friend, Mem kicked a rock and then another, revealing a pile of very bright sand. He stopped and stared. It reminded him of the dream sand that Nightlight had sprinkled over him when he was a baby. Mim laughed to himself and went on kicking rocks. He had an idea. Soon the moonbots and moon mice were kicking rocks too. When the moon mice were so tired that they could hardly hold up their tails, and the moonbots were so creaky that they could barely move, Mim called upon the toy maker and the rabbit, the fairy, and the others from Earth to fly up and lend a hand. And then finally, when everyone was too tired even to complain, the man in the moon smiled and summoned the lunar moths. The bright sand had made the moon 100 times brighter. Now the children of Earth will see the moon's smiling face and know they have a nightlight to guard them forever, said Mim. And for a moment the distant stars of his mother and father sparkled more brightly than ever before. Mim began to sing. It was an old song, a beloved song, and they all joined in. Night light, bright light, sweet dreams I bestow. Sleep tight all night, forever I will glow. The man in the moon knew that he could be the guardian of the children of Earth, just as Nightlight had been his guardian long ago. But he would need help, and so he gathered everyone together. Now, my friends, he said, kneel and take this oath. It was much like the one Nightlight had taken long ago, and now it would be their own. We will watch over the children of Earth, guide them safely from the ways of harm, keep happy their hearts, brave their souls, and rosy their cheeks. We will guard with our lives their hopes and dreams, for they are all that we have, all that we are, and all that we will ever be. So began the Guardians of Childhood. And for the children of Earth, the night was never again as dark. The end. And I hope if you know a friend or someone that might have bad dreams, that you'll recommend The Man in the Moon by William Joyce to teach them about how the moon is a guardian of childhood.